Aloha my kako. Welcome to episode number 73 of the Aloha Hour. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe to our YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram, and also share all the clips. Help us grow. When we grow, you grow. We want to mahalo a few people before we get started. Mahalo our friends from Waiakea for keeping us hydrated. Also, mahalo to our friends from Hawaiian Aroma Cafe, the best coffee in Hawaii, and to the Secret Spot, baby. That's where all the killer local bands, they jam in 7 nights a week, right in Waikiki.
All right. And I'm going to introduce our guest for today. He is one of Oahu's top 10 realtors, winning countless awards such as the Client Service Award, Aloha Aina Award, and the top 1% of Oahu Agents in sales. He sold over $200 million in real estate, performed over 250 transactions. He is the host of the show American Dream TV Hawaii Edition. He is an entrepreneur, a father, a good friend. He is Ben Fieman.
Wow.
Hey.
Oh, thank you. That's a nice intro.
Yeah,
What's up,
absolutely.
Ben?
What's up? What's up?
You did a lot to get to all of this, man.
I
This
did.
is
A lot of sleepless nights.
a lot of sleepless nights. So tell us a little bit about, how everything started. I mean, you grew up over here, right?
Yeah, born and raised Diamond Head, went to Iolani School, went to University of San Diego, double majored, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science in Industrial Systems Engineering. I thought I wanted to design cars. I did a couple internships. I was stuck behind a desk the whole time, and I was like, you know what? This is not me. And my dad said, I'll support you as long as you're in school. The minute you're out of school, you're on your own. And I did what every kid would do when their dad said that, go back to school. So I went to Pepperdine, got my Master's of Business Administration with an emphasis on entrepreneurship and marketing. And all my friends at the time were like getting all these big jobs. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to move back home, work in my family business. My dad owns Local Boutique. It's a local swimwear company. We design, manufacture, retail swimwear. And he's got 10 stores worldwide. And I thought, I'm going to move home. I'm going to try it. I'm going to realize I don't like it. I'm going to move right back to LA. And so first thing, I went to work in the stores, and I was working at our Ward Warehouse store. It was an outlet store, working with like girls from high school and just like listening to all their problems. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like my friends are making 6 figures and they're doing all these things, and I'm working retail at Ward Warehouse. And so I stuck with it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna, this company helped build who I am. It's provided for me and for my family. It's paid for my tuition, so I owe it to at least try and see what it's like. So I worked in the stores, learned about bikinis, which, obviously I never wore a bikini or anything, but got my bikini education there, and I don't know, I started to fall in love with it after a while. You're just looking at bikinis all day. I started to get some ideas, and the more as time went on and I was in retail, the more I fell in love with it, and I had more ideas, and I quickly, built more responsibility from my dad, and then I ended up actually even starting my own line of swimwear called Kaimana Beachwear, and so so I did all the pool parties and fashion shows and whatnot. So I did that I worked for my dad for about 6 years. And then finally, after 6 years, I was like, you know what?
So how old are you at the time?
I think 30.
Okay.
I'm 30 at the time, and I'm like, you when you just hit 30, you get that shift in mindset. You're like, whoa, what am I doing with my life? And so I thought, I don't want this to be the only thing I try in my life. I was like, Dad, if with your support and with your blessing, can I try something else? And a friend of mine recommended real estate, and I just fell in love from day one in training at locations. I was like, this is me. This is what I want to do, and I want to pivot. Because
did you fall in love with it because you're a natural salesperson, or did you fall in love with it because of you provide someone with a home, with a house, with something so substantial for their life? You know what I mean?
I think it was a lot of things. I think it was the numbers aspect of it, the negotiations, the building wealth. I was like, this is my ticket, Yeah. I've seen my dad grow the business. He's got 100 employees. When the machine breaks, he's there fixing it. If he can't fix it, he's got to send there's a lot of pressure when you have 100 employees. When you're in real estate, you just got to manage yourself. You just got to make sure you're not going to the beach every day, and you're actually focusing. Mm-hmm. And you can be a successful realtor. So that's kind of,
But isn't in real estate something like if you don't sell, you don't make?
Exactly. Yeah,
So-
you gotta hunt, you gotta kill, you gotta eat. You know, so
so you gotta hustle.
yeah, you gotta hustle.
And let's say you work for a company, then you get the leads you get it from the company, right?
Depends. Every company has different programs, but for the most part, no. You gotta find your own.
So let's say
Yeah.
you didn't. Let's say okay, you got your real estate agent, like certificate or whatever. You start working at a company. You didn't make any sales first month, second month, third month, fourth month.
Yep.
How you pay the bill?
Exactly. So
you fucked.
yeah, when I left my family business, I had to give all my money back to my dad. Which, in hindsight, I realized why he did that. He said if I didn't do that, I would have coasted for a couple more years.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
But because I had to give it all back, I had to borrow money from my mom, and I borrowed $5,000. And when you're a realtor, there's all these expenses that they don't really tell you about. You have to pay your brokerage, all this stuff, and that went up in smoke. So I had to borrow another $5,000. And for me, being 30 years old, my family put me through school my whole life, and I owe my mom money. Who's, she's not even from Hawaii. She's from Japan, and she's living by herself. I was like, I'm gonna work so hard to pay you back as soon as possible. So that's what I did. I rented a house right across the street from locations, and I was there every night working. Like, I didn't know what to do. There's no one there telling you what to do, but I was like, you know what? If I'm here, I feel like it's gonna happen. If I'm at home trying to figure it out on my own, it's not gonna happen. So I was there every night. Sure enough, this lady was always there, same at night. She was one of the partners of the company, and she would notice that I'm not eating and stuff because I was like super broke at that time. I was like, you know what? I went from like basically being a trust fund kid, not even having any value of money because I would just throw everything on the credit card, to being super broke. And I was like, I don't want to adjust my lifestyle, and I don't want everyone to know. So, and I went to Safeway every night, or not every night, but I went to Safeway for my groceries, and I would just try to milk it as long as I could because I was like, I don't want to borrow any more money from my mom. And then as I was there every night, she was like, hey, I noticed you didn't eat, have this poke bowl. And I was like, no, it's fine. She's like, no, eat. So she started giving me food, and I was like, oh, wow, she's like super nice. So we started talking one night and realized her daughter was actually my high school classmate.
No way.
And I was like, oh my God, what a small world. And then she was like, actually I have a Japanese client. Like, you speak Japanese? I was like, yeah, I speak a little bit of Japanese. She's like, do you want to help me? I was like, sure. Obviously I had nothing to do at that time. So
But you knew how to speak though. You know how to communicate.
I knew how to communicate in Japanese, yeah. So she made me do some research. I did all this research, sent it to her, and she's like, wow, this is actually really good. Like, you want to help me with this client? I was like, absolutely. I didn't know what I'm doing. So she helped me kind of get my first sale, and it was a super small sale. It was like a $300,000 condo at Hawaiian Monarch. And I think originally she was going to give me like 30%, but I did extra. She was like, wow, you did really good work. So she's like, I'm going to give you 50%. I was like, oh my God. But it wasn't about the money. It was about the fact that she gave me the confidence to realize that I can do this.
And just to clarify for our audience and the listeners, it's 50% out of the 3% that they got.
Exactly.
It's not 50% out of 300,000 that they got.
Exactly. That's important.
Yeah, it's 50% out of 3%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was my first sale. That gave me the confidence. Next sale was one of my buddies. I used to go visit all the time at a bar. He was a bartender, but he saved all his money. Next sale was I went to an open house, and I hosted my own open house, and nobody came in, and I was really like bummed. I was like, man, I just wasted my entire Sunday. Come back home, take my open house posters out of my car, and my landlord's like, oh, you're a realtor? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, I wanted to buy this condo at Island Colony. It's like, boom, that was another sale. So
no way.
With those first 3 sales, I had enough to pay my mom back, and I was like, okay, I can make this happen. So in my first year, sold over 7 million. Second year was like 12. Next was 15. Then it was 20. Then it was 30. Now it's 40. So just kind of every year you're in real estate, it gets easier and easier and easier.
Easier as far as convincing, or easier you have just more clientele, more network.
You have well, you have more knowledge, so you have more confidence. You do a better job, but also you have more past clients and past people who refer business to you.
Yeah.
So the longer you're in business, the easier it gets. So in real estate, the first couple years are the hardest. If you can make it through those, then then you can make
And
it
most
happen.
of the people, they break in the first 2 years.
Of course, yeah. I don't know what the statistics are, but I think in
The
the
ratio
first,
must be like,
yeah,
most of the people just fucking give up.
yeah,
Yeah, but I think because they're in it for money, huh? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're in it for money too, but
Mhm.
there got to be some secondary reason that you're chasing, like a clear vision of what your lifestyle's like after, like.
Yeah, so I read an article by Warren Buffett who said there's only 3 ways to build wealth in America. You own your own business, you own stocks, or you own real estate. Everything else is just cash and it loses value every day. So I realized how my dad built his business, super high risk, super high reward, you know, but there's a lot of pressure. Owning stock is like the complete opposite. There's a stock price. You have no say in it. You have no control over what happens. Owning real estate is right in the middle. It's like you own your own business because you're investing in it's like you're owning your own business because you can buy it to live in, you can rent it, you can sell it, you can market it however you want. But it's also like owning stock because you own in the Oahu real estate market, which is one of the safest markets in the country. So it's a blend of the two, which I found that's why I like it so much, is because I don't have all the pressure of owning your own business, but I have a little bit more control over just all the guys trying to buy Bitcoin and crypto and stocks and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like right in the middle because I know I can excel in the middle.
And you can improve your property. So once you buy it, you can renovate, improve, and then, of course. So the market over here feels like a little bit unforgiving. You know what I mean? Like, because it's always climbing up, and it never feels like you can find a good deal in Hawaii.
Yeah, I always come across clients and people like, hey, let me know when you find a good deal. You know, and to this day, even the good deals I find, I don't even go for it. And people are always trying to time the market in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Don't time the market. In Hawaii, it's different. We don't go up and down. We're basically a stairmaster, just going up.
Yeah,
so
upward trajectory.
Yeah, we're just like this. Yeah. So just don't even try to time the market. Get in when it makes sense for you, when you have the financial means to make that decision, and you'll thank yourself in the future.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Yeah. I think one of the greatest sentences that I heard from a real estate investor, he told me the best deal was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You
I
know
like
what
that.
I mean?
Yeah.
Because by the end of the day, by full price 2 years ago, now you're already winning.
Yeah.
Now you already made your equity. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So by the end of the day, people looking for a good deal, good deal is just buying. Just buy something. Yeah. In the end, it'll gradually go up, and then you made your money.
I mean, you could make a good deal.
Yeah.
By causing a divorce. Like you go like you home wreck a home and just be like, you know what, maybe you guys should move out. Break up the family.
Yeah. No, because
I'll throw money here. Just go.
Everywhere in the States, there's situations where you open the fucking internet, you go into the real estate, and you can find something that might be a good deal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But over here, you cannot find it because everything is expensive.
Yeah.
Plus, if you take into consideration the insurance, the property tax, you take into consideration all the other stuff that you have to pay. By the end of the day, you're losing money.
Yep.
So Hawaii is a tough market to be successful in. So seeing you doing all those transactions is very, very impressive. But I feel like you're working with a different clientele. The clientele that you work is very luxury. It's very...
No, I think that's what I kind of portray on Instagram because that's what the people want to see. But at the end of the day, no, it's all different ranges. I got first-time home buyers. I got $10 million clients. I've got 300,000.
Are you still getting excited by a first-time home buyer like a $10 million?
But it's a little bit more rewarding when you have that first-time home buyer. There's more emotions involved. So when you get them that home and they text you like the next month and they're like, oh my God, we love this place. Thank you so much. Like, then you're kind of like you remember why you got into real estate.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got the $10 million guys, there's less emotions. So obviously it's a fat paycheck, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, it's not as rewarding.
Oh, I bet. But it's good for the bank.
Yeah.
It's good for the bank. So how did you get to do? How did you start with all those high-end properties?
I don't know. I think I was kind of lucky in my upbringing. Like when we grew up, we had nothing. My dad moved here from Denver, Colorado with 2 suitcases, and he came with my mom. My dad's Caucasian, my mom's from Japan, and they said they were in Japan. They were like, let's go somewhere where we can speak English and Japanese. And they were like, let's go to Hawaii. And they never ever visited here, never knew what it was like, but they were like, let's just move there. And so they came here way back when. And I remember my dad saying, the thing he liked about Hawaii back then, especially, he was sitting on Waikiki Beach and he was flat broke. And he was like, the coolest thing about Hawaii is you can be flat broke, sitting on the beach, sitting next to a multimillionaire, and from the outside world, no one would know the difference. Yeah. In LA, it's like people kind of flaunt and do all this stuff. In Hawaii, we don't do that. And so my dad, I worked his butt off. I went public school, elementary, Waikiki Elementary. Yeah. And I saw my dad put in the hours, put in the work since 1978, starting his business before I was born. And then just all of a sudden, I think in 7th grade, that's when or 6th grade, his business started to take off. And then finally we go from Kapahulu to Diamond Head, and I go from Waikiki to Iolani. And I appreciate that because I saw him working, and that's what made me realize, gave me the confidence I can do that too. Mm-hmm. So my dad was very successful, and I think now that gave me the confidence to be successful as well. But not only that, people I grow up with, people I surround myself with are obviously very successful people, and it's just a matter of time after you help high-end clients.
It's crazy. You know how they always say, tell me who is your friends, I tell you who you are? Tell me who your friends. I think in Hawaii, especially, it's very important. Mm-hmm. Because in Hawaii, if your friend group is just like hardworking 9-to-5s, you will stay in that mode of hardworking 9-to-5. Mm-hmm. But if you surround yourself with like entrepreneurs that create and make and buy and this, suddenly a purchase of 10 million doesn't sound so intimidating because you heard it so many times.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the best things I did when I was working in my family business, I joined Entrepreneurs Organization, EO. And in EO, they put you in what's called a forum. So it's like 10 of your groupies, your people you see every month. And for me, going to that meeting every month and seeing my friends just do crazy stuff. Like every month they're like, oh, I just did this. I just bought this. I'm doing this. It makes you like, whoa, what the heck am I doing? And like that saying goes, you are who you surround yourself with. Mm-hmm. So when I started to surround myself with those kind of people, I'm like, wow, like there's actually a lot of opportunity in Hawaii. A lot of people in Hawaii like to kind of just sit back and complain and stay in their whatever 9-to-5 job. But there's actually a lot of self-made people in Hawaii who are contributing to our society, who are making a lot of money. And like when you start to hang out with them and you see like their mindset and stuff, it's addictive. Oh, it's contagious. Yeah.
I can definitely relate to that. It really depends on where you hanging out with.
Yeah. You an only child?
No, I got older brother.
Older brother.
Yeah.
What is he into?
He's an attorney.
Oh, yeah. What, tag team then?
Yeah, no. My brother, like for me, sorry bro, but growing up, he was the smartest guy I ever knew. Mm-hmm. Smartest guy. He was the first to burn CDs, figure out Napster, LimeWire. I used to sell. So he figured out. He was the very first at Iolani to burn CDs, and I used to go sell them like to my friends and stuff like that. So I was like the. And there's Apple, like I'm the Steve Jobs and he's like the other guy. And like, but like my brother, he was so smart that he's kind of like lazy. Like he got like A's and B's and I never seen him study once. He had the idea for Uber before Uber. There was this app called Taxi Magic. He was living in Portland, Oregon. And he was like, oh, watch this. I know who your cab driver is. It was like this guy named like Moses or something. I go down and he's like, hi Moses, and I'm like, how do you know this guy's name? And it was this app called Taxi Magic. And my brother was like, imagine if you could turn this app into just everyone's car, which is basically what Uber was.
Yeah.
And he's just comfortable. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think the goal in life is to be happy. It's not to be successful. And I look at my brother, he's got 2 amazing kids, my nephews, and he's happy. And I realized, you know what? That's at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, that's all you can ask for. It's not the millions and millions of dollars or this and that. It's like, if you're happy, you're happy.
Yeah.
And he's happy, so.
We all chase the same. We all chase the same feeling of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Some get it from different things, but yeah, we all chase the happiness.
But is there an end point to the amount of money you make where you're like, okay, I'm good?
I think so. I mean, well, I don't know.
I think you get addicted at at a certain point. You get addicted to the actual money making, feeling.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and I can only speak for myself. For me, I just want to travel.
Yeah.
I just want to travel.
Yeah.
I work, I travel, I work, I travel, I work, I travel. I don't want to spend too much time in the same. I want to see, I want to experience those memories. Me being with my kids all over the world makes me feel as happy as I can be.
Learning different cultures and everything. Yeah.
And also, I'm a freak of eating. I love eating. So
Yeah.
just to be with my kids in a restaurant and fucking, I don't know, anywhere in the world, Seoul or Japan or Portugal, that moment I feel as happy as I can be.
I used to work like all day, all night, never turn it off, just, super. And I just recently I had to tell myself, from dinner till nighttime, I gotta unplug. So,
Good.
it's been tough because I'm just addicted to, you get a text message, respond back. You get an email, you gotta respond back. Now it's like, my rule is, once the sun goes down, it's dinner time. It's my time to be with my wife, my family. Sometime once in a while I'll do emails late at night, but for the most part, that time's got to be family time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the right way to do it, even though it's so hard because the phone is in our hand.
Yeah.
So when you get a text message, you're like, "What? I'm gonna respond tomorrow? Let me just respond." So you respond, and then you get an email. Okay, let me respond to the email. Already here. It's already in my hand. And then
So one thing that's helped me out with that is I do all my tasks in blocks. So I try not to check all my focuses on my iPhone. I have my work focus, my family focus, everything. So when it's time to do text messages, I do all my text messages. It has, sometimes it's my clients, sometimes my friends, just go brrrr. And then I have my work text message. I have another app that controls my work. I do all the messages brrrr. And then when I do emails, you do it all brrrr. But the way you go crazy is when you bounce back and forth. You do a text message, you do an email, you do this. Then you get stressed out. That's when you get stressed out.
I hit the bathroom and I'm like, okay, text.
Yeah. No. Do one thing at a time. All your text messages, brr, all your work stuff, brr, all your emails, brr, all your callbacks. I don't even answer my phone. If it's a number that comes in that I don't recognize, I never answer.
yeah.
So it's just someone who's trying to take up some of your time.
Yeah.
So just don't answer, and then all the calls that actually they leave a voicemail or text message, then I respond back. Just go all in a row.
I have a confession to make. This week I fell for one of them callers.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's like calling me, Filipino lady, all super confident. Are you the owner? I'm like, yeah. What is your name? I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I fucking start giving her my name. I'm like, Jonathan, last name Rotmage. I'm like, what? And then I catch myself fucking like a loser, fucking giving her all the information, giving her Jonathan, yes.
Never.
Take it all.
Take it all. Fucking, I catch myself and I'm like, what? No, I'm not the owner. No.
You already showed your cards.
Fuck, I just hung up. Fucking burned myself, man.
Bro, they're busy. But you got to figure their ratio, right? I mean, I'm assuming that, I don't know if the ratio is any different from selling homes, but selling scams, right? You talk to enough people, somebody's going to want to bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a tip I'm going to give to fellow realtors or even business owners or anything. Never give out your personal number. Your personal number is for your family, your friends, and whatever. There's what's called voice over IP. There's tons of apps out there. Mm-hmm. Google has. You can find one. I use OpenPhone. Create a new number just for your work stuff and keep it separate. It just feels so. Before I would be like with my wife at dinner, and I'm like, we're trying to enjoy dinner, and then I get a phone call and I get a text message, and it just gets you out of that mindset. I'm like, no, I want to be back here with my wife, but like I'm getting this call and I'm like getting sucked into work. Now I have it separated. It lives as an app as itself on my own. If it rings, anytime it rings, it's my public number, my work number. If it rings anytime I don't recognize it, there's no number, there's nothing saved in my contacts, never answer. If they leave a text message or a voicemail, then I'll choose whether or not to answer. But if it's work related, it has its own ring, it's its own app, and I'm with my wife. I'm like, you know what? Now's not the time to do work stuff. It's easier to separate.
Yeah.
And it's one of the small. It costs like what, $15 a month, $10 a month. It's worth every penny.
Yeah,
And
it made a big change.
It makes a huge change, and you can control. You can separate. You can live your life without having to just have those lines intertwined.
Yeah.
You know, personal stuff should be personal things. Work stuff should be work things. They should be separated.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I cannot do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Actually, all the numbers on Yelp lead to my cell phone.
No, that's oh my God! I'm gonna teach you.
Every number.
You gotta stop doing that.
It goes to Hawaiian Aroma Cafe, the Gallery Waikiki,
Oh my
Secret
God.
Spot Honolulu. Comes to my cell phone.
Well,
I'm gonna make your life way better.
Before you do, in his defense, he's probably like one of the best salesmen I've ever met in my entire life. So it makes total sense why he wouldn't trust that with anyone else. Like,
Well, you don't
like,
have to give it to anyone else. You just have a different number, and it lives on a different app.
Yeah.
So you choose when it's time to hustle. You're like, oh, that's when I go into that app. I'm like, okay, hustle.
Yeah.
But I don't. You don't
I see
mesh
what
it
he
with your
says,
family.
because what he says is to create that clear separation that you can control your day.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the day controls me.
Exactly.
When people decide to call, I fucking answer because I know I'm the guy that gotta answer. So they control my day. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And he,
Yeah.
in his approach, is like, this is my time, my day. I decide what I do with my time.
Exactly.
You know.
So what do you do when you're on traveling? Like, do you still answer?
No. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's the cardinal sin. No.
But you see, for me, I feel like this is, first of all, we Jews, we have a little bit of guilt. When we don't work, we have a little bit of guilt. We always want to work a little bit.
I'm half Jewish too. So.
See, maybe
My dad's
that's why.
side. That's my dad. It's my dad.
So
But you gotta. Yeah.
I feel like always when I just answered a good email, I just people can get a hold of me, my employees can get a hold of me, my managers. Like I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm part of their daily, routine. I'm part of their day. But I do agree with your way because your way is the mature way. My way is the
old school way.
old school. I still haven't figured it out way.
Yeah.
Sounds like you had a lot of chats with the other half
Yeah.
about your work.
Actually, yeah, she's the one who introduced me to it because she did it for her business, and I was like, that one little change. You wouldn't be surprised. Agents are the ones who are the biggest time suck when you're a realtor. They're literally search a property and they don't even look at the information. They go straight to who is the listing agent, what's his phone number. They'll call me, and then they'll be like, "Oh, hi Ben, hey, I'm just calling about your listing." And they're literally reading they don't have their questions figured out. They're calling me already. And that's
while they're asking you the same question.
And I figured that out. So when they used to call me on my personal line, and they would say, "Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, is it vacant?" I'm like, "You're looking at the MLS right now. You obviously know it's vacant." It's like, "Oh, when can we see it?" I'm like, "Whenever you want." Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that was it. And I was like, so they're just calling because
totally.
Yeah.
Just took
The motion.
Exactly.
Fucking
So,
took 2 minutes out of your time for nothing.
Exactly. And then when you add, the thing is when you have a lot of listings, you add up all those times, you realize you waste like 2 hours a day on these meaningless phone calls.
Totally.
So you put it on an app on something else. If they're an agent, they should leave email or a text message, list all your questions, be respectful. People are busy. List all your questions down, and I'll get back to you with all those things. You don't need to know like right then and there, and I get back pretty quick.
Yeah.
Especially when they leave a text message or email and it's all like organized, those are the agents I go back to immediately. The ones that leave a voicemail, they're like, "Oh, just calling about your listing," and they're like kind of firing off some questions. I'm like, no, I don't go back that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your daily like regimen like from the second you awaken? Like,
Oh, Okay.
Good
Until
question.
checkout.
So, believe it or not, I get 9 or 10 hours of sleep every night. Like a lot. People think
that's wealth.
people think, and I have to admit, like, I wake up a lot at night. I'm getting older. I got to go pee and stuff. So, I do take melatonin. I've been kind of taking ZQL and stuff, but I'm like, I know sleep is so important. And so I sleep good, and gotta give a shout out, thank you to my wife. We have a 2.5-month-old, and she does the night shift, and she allows me to re-energize, and I'm so appreciative of that. So my day starts off with a good night of rest. First thing I do, I open the Calm app. There's an app called Calm, and I do meditation 10 minutes. Not only that, I bought a little massager about this big off Amazon. It's like $20, and massage my whole body. That's how I wake up. I wake up to a massage, and I'm meditating either to the Daily J or the Daily Calm. Calm app, everything's free, super easy to download. So 10 minutes, just kind of slowly wake up. And then I have the journal app. So I'll journal 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 things I want to accomplish for the day, my I am statement, my words of affirmation to myself. So I start there. And finally, I'm like, okay, it's time to go. Got my morning poop. I'm a morning pooper,
Same.
so I get that in. I don't know why every morning, but it's ready to go.
It means you're healthy.
It means I'm healthy. Yeah, exactly. And then I try to do about 7 minutes. I listen to another app, kind of motivates you, but 7 minutes of push-ups and sit-ups. So like just kind of get the body going. You want to accomplish something early. Like, oh, I already accomplished something, and I barely woke up yet. So boom, I was like, oh, I already got my exercise. Push-ups, sit-ups, planks, whatever. Just do it.
And that's a 7-minute workout.
Yeah, so I do the Daily Calm, and then the Daily J. Jay Shetty, he's a famous guy. His Daily J is always 7 minutes, so I do that. Then I'm like, for nowadays, I wake up, say hi to my wife, take my daughter, and then it's my turn. I do the day shift. So she does night shift, I do the day shift. I think there's a lot of couples who try to stay up all night and try to do it all day, and my wife and I have figured out a really good strategy. She does the night, I do the day. I say, babe, go back to sleep. I know you've been up. You go back to sleep. It's my turn. And so I'll work and I'll watch the baby. So first things first, normally before noon, I call it, I want to win the day before noon, which means the 3 things I want to accomplish that I journaled, I want to do that before noon. So all the like when you open your phone, it's all text messages, emails, things. Those are all reactive stuff. That's all people trying to pull stuff out of you. And I'm like, no, before noon, everything is proactive. It's like, what have you been putting off? What have you been wanting to do?
So instead of having a reaction, having an action.
Yeah. So my reaction is afternoon.
Okay.
I'll reply to you if it's work related, your text, your email, your whatever. That's afternoon. Before noon is all proactive. So I post on social media because that's what I want to do. That's how I get business. Mm-hmm. I do my prospecting. I have my own CRM, and I go through all my clients and I say, hey, you still looking to buy or sell, that kind of thing. And I have my own tasks, and some of those tasks are personal things that I've been putting off, and some of them are business stuff, like selling my own car. Like on my iPhone, on the reminders, I have all my tasks. Those are things I want to do, and I just go down the list. Everything before noon. After noon, that's when I go through and I do the time blocking thing. Then I go, okay, all the text messages, all the work stuff, all the emails, just pound through all that stuff. But like, you'll feel so much better about yourself if you win the day by noon. You do all that proactive stuff before noon. Yeah. So after that, you already won. So it's like, oh yeah, if you want to suck my time, it's fine, because I already won the day. So, hey, I'll give you what you're looking for.
That's actually a really good strategy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To take your day and split it into 2, 3, maybe 4 portions even, just to make your day productive. And,
Yeah.
I think that's a real good day.
To finish off the day, usually, so I'm not a morning exercise guy really at all, besides the push-ups and sit-ups, but my exercise usually comes around 5 or 6. So I play soccer. I have my own treadmill that I like lifted on an incline. So I either work out at home or I go play soccer. You got to get the sweat in, and then you have dinner, you know, and then you spend time with your family, be present, watch movies, TV. You know, once in a while I'll do late night emails, but nowadays I haven't been doing too much of that because I've accomplished so much in my day.
Yeah.
And before I used to kind of like feel guilty if I didn't do those emails at night, but I'm like, you know what? No, those guys wait for the next day. You know, it makes you. I think it's more about self-love. Like you gotta give yourself a break. You gotta love yourself. Don't work yourself to the grind. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? It's okay to wait for that next day. It's not gonna hurt. It'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta definitely
Yeah.
take that and adopt it into my daily routine.
Yeah.
The sleep, especially, man. That's why you look so young.
No, I know. I get a lot of good sleep.
Bro, when you were saying sleeping 9-10 hours, I'm like, oh
Sleeping
my
9-10
god.
I was
hours.
jealous, bro.
Fucking Steezy waking up at 4:30. I
Bro.
see his story at 4:30 in the elevator. Fucking.
Yeah.
I am up early. Sleep is one of the hardest things for me to get,
Yeah.
but it is what it is right now, you know?
Yeah.
I just
Well,
gotta get to the point where I don't need to get there,
yeah.
you know?
I
But for so many years, you never even sleep.
I was since I started the morning show, it's been the worst.
But before, I mean,
Oh,
before
man.
you had your own, you was on the 102.7 A Bomb.
Night show, though. Oh, yeah, I did Kyola
But you
for a
had
couple years,
Keola
yeah.
too.
But even then, because that was at the time, that was my only job was to do the radio. And then my other half, I was also working full time. So it was real okay at the time.
Yeah.
Ever since we had Irie, we've had her just take care of the baby and I just go work because
well,
I make a lot more money with
Yeah.
everything. So
you guys wake up with an alarm?
yes.
You wake up with alarm?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I do
Never.
have an alarm, but
Yeah.
I usually
Beat
beat it.
I never set my alarm ever. Probably
Not.
barely.
Well, but you
I-
just wake up whenever.
Well, I'll never schedule something like before 9 a.m. Why would I ever schedule anything before 9 a.m.? It can be done after that. So I wake up usually between 8 and 9, get my good 9 hours of sleep.
Right, 9 I have lunch already.
I know, me too.
No worries. Yeah.
9 is my second meal
Yeah.
of the day.
I notice it when I wake up with an alarm. I'm all stressed out. I like kind of panic. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? Like this and
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't like it. Like
Yeah.
I wake up when I wake up, and yeah, I hate waking up with alarm.
I don't know. I like mine. Mine,
Yeah.
I play Running Up That Hill.
Oh
Ever heard that song?
no,
I think it was Kate Bush. You guys also saw Stranger Things?
yeah,
I never watched.
I think it's the
Yeah.
latest one. It's an old like 70s or 80s song. Running up that hill, and we deal with God. I don't know.
Oh,
It just gets me excited.
yeah.
Like I hear that song and I wake up, I'm like,
oh
yeah,
man,
let's go kill this day.
Good for you.
You know?
That's
I
good.
used to wake up to Eye of the Tiger.
No,
You
hey.
sound like
Oh, that would.
you would be an Eye
Hey,
of the Tiger
cheesy,
guy.
but it works.
No, but that's your
Did
personality.
you ever
too.
heard that song without wanting to fucking do something? Did you
Yeah.
ever heard
No,
Eye of the Tiger
you're right.
and you didn't want to be like, fuck, let's do a push-up or I don't know, let me just shadow box or something?
You know, I gotta tell you a quick story. I almost
Yeah.
broke my window because of this guy.
Oh, what?
Yes. I was on my way. This is recently. I was going to the beach down Montserrat, going to Kapiolani Park.
Okay.
And, I stopped at Diamond Head Grill and I got a musubi because I was hungry. It was early in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was having a little spat with my other half. We're just, high on emotion, talking or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just trying to eat my musubi
Yeah.
before we get to the beach. And, like, as we turn, I'm talking. I have a bite of this musubi.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even far in the distance. Johnny must have been 20 feet away, jogging, and
What?
we were going in the same direction.
What?
And she's just like, "Oh, look, it's Johnny!" And I was like, and I seen him, and he was maybe from here to the door, like 15 feet away. I was like, "Ah!" And I went to throw one hard shaka, but
Oh.
the window was up.
Oh,
like,
shit.
I was like,
Hey.
Oh, and I see Johnny all in focus. I was like,
Wow.
"Shit, you didn't even know I seen him, man."
Shit, you almost gotta pay his medical bill.
And I guarantee you were jamming Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
You-
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. To be honest, music makes you actually go because even if mentally you're like broken down or you're tired, when I hear music,
Oh yeah.
I'm like
firing, huh?
fired.
That's why you always have live music or DJs over
Yeah,
here.
I love music. Music makes me
Yeah.
definitely happy. But you're also a music guy. I mean, you go out, you love to dance, you love to sing.
Yep.
One thing I have to tell you about Ben. He has this thing where he loves karaoke.
Yeah.
And he loves doing Shaggy. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Bro, really?
And then I realized that if you are a man of the world, okay? If you're like a real, a man of the world, you need to have at least one joke, one good karaoke song, and one good dish you know how to cook. I don't have the singing, I don't have the joke, and I don't have the fucking meal I can cook. So I still gotta work on all them three. But I know you, every time I see him, brah, steals the show.
I don't know how it started, but I've been surrounded by karaoke, and I realized you don't have to be a good singer. I cannot sing. You don't have to sing well, but you need to learn how to sing one song well. And you just learn that one song that works for you, and it makes you comfortable, and you just start there. All the time I go karaoke, and they're like, oh, sing when I was younger, and I was like, I don't know, which song is good, which song? And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna learn one song good, and then I've sang it 1,000 times, so.
Yeah, you're so comfortable.
Honey, give me that, she caught me red-handed, sleeping with that girl next door. Picture this, we were both butt naked, banging on the bathroom floor. How could I forget that I had given her an extra key? All this time she was standing there when she never took her eyes off me. You know what I mean? It's like, I've sang it 1,000 times live. I've sang it it's so comfortable. It's like second nature.
Yeah. But then I realized I gotta fucking work on my song, bruh. You have a song?
Just pick one song.
Yeah, I have a song.
What's your one?
Forgot about Dre.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I do that one
it's
too.
Impressive,
Yeah.
People like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that one.
Keeps the crowd going.
Yeah.
Okay, you sing it.
Nowadays everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move the lips. Just a bunch of gibberish, and the motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre.
Yeah. That's
So what do you say? Somebody you hate? Anyone trying to bring trouble your way?
Nice.
That's good. Okay, your turn. You gotta have one song.
Bruh, I swear to God, not even one.
I have
You gotta
the tiger,
have one.
bro. Dun,
I the tiger.
Dun,
dun, dun.
No, the only song that I actually know, but I'm kind of embarrassed. You remember back in the day when we were young, there was a band called REM?
Yes.
And they used to have a song, Losing My Religion.
Oh, yes.
Losing my religion. Trying to keep an eye on you. And I don't know if I can do it.
Hey!
See?
You got one too, bro. We in there.
Just
I
sing.
can't believe you guys made me do that.
Just sing it over and over, nonstop. Every time you gotta go karaoke, sing it. That's
Until
the one.
you get it down,
That's it.
yeah.
And then it's just like you're comfortable.
Do you have a good joke?
I don't have a good joke. No,
See?
I don't have a good joke.
You always have to have a good joke, because let's say you have an open house and someone comes in and you got to kill time.
Yeah.
What you going to do?
Okay, what's your joke?
Aha. What did Sushi A tell Sushi B?
What?
Wasabi.
I'm stealing that. That's good. Wasabi.
That's easy.
What did
That's
Sushi
easy.
A? Oh, I'm Japanese too. I understand. What did Sushi A tell Sushi B? Whew. That's good.
It's easy. It's small kind.
Yeah.
That is.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
You got to have that. You
Yeah.
got to have that. And you need to know what to cook. Because by the end of the day, every man need to have something that they can cook for their wife. You cooking
I'm a steak guy.
steak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steak's my winner.
Okay.
So I will admit, I cannot cook. I can't even make my own cereal.
Not.
Yeah. I
No
To the-
scrambled eggs.
I've tried. My wife said this is terrible. I once bought the frozen chicken from Costco, and I didn't know how to cook it, so I put it in a boiling pot of water, and I served it to her, and she's like, "This is disgusting." So that ended my cooking
How
day.
did you survive college?
I had a meal pass. Everything's
ramen,
it's all
bro.
buffet.
Ramen,
Everything's
ramen.
buffet, and you just go out to eat. I cannot cook, and I leave it to the pros. I leave it, to guys like him. I order takeout. I used to do this thing called meal prep when I was single. Every Monday I would go to some restaurant, whatever, and I would just order takeout, and it would last me the whole week. So I go to, this week was Thai food, boom, all week. I go to Italian restaurant, order takeout, enough for like 6 people, and I would just eat it throughout the whole week. That's how I survived. Yeah, wow. I kind of cook. For me, I'm way too logical the way I think. To me, it takes half an hour to an hour to cook. It takes 20 minutes to eat, and it takes 30 to 45 minutes to clean up. I'm like, why don't you just grab takeout and you just focus on the 20 minutes it is to eat?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, leave it to the pros. Like, it,
Yeah.
the amount of time it takes to cook and to clean.
It's not a good return on investment.
It's not. The time it takes to cook and to clean, I focus on my work, I make more money.
Yeah.
And then I can grab takeout from Morton's Steakhouse every night if I wanted.
Yeah. You just gotta plan it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just gotta do it the right way, and then you can.
Yeah.
enjoy it.
So for me, I feel bad to my wife. I cannot cook, but I take her out to dinner. That's what I do. I said.
How many times a week you guys at a restaurant?
So we do this thing. So we used to go like every week, and it was a little too much because we're a sociable couple and we've got events every other night or something. So we've spaced it out. So I call it Last Supper. It's the last Friday of every month. I say, I promise I'm gonna take you out to dinner. So we try to do once a month. Wherever you want to go, we'll take you out to dinner, date night.
Which is also super important once you have your firstborn.
Yeah.
It's really important to take your wife outside the house because the wife is all the time with the baby at home. She talks to the baby. She eats with the baby. She's around the baby all the time. She needs to have some adult interaction.
Okay.
So taking her into a restaurant is very, very important. We always try to go at least once a week, just one restaurant. And we don't have small kids anymore. I mean, our kids stay by themselves, but it is important. We did that since the kids were born. Always go out.
Okay.
Because by the end of the day, this is your partner. This is the person you're going to be with.
Of course.
So you have to nurture that relationship just like you would nurture a client.
Yeah.
That is about to buy a $10 million property.
Yeah.
Come, let's go eat. Let's go this. Let me pick you up. Let me show you this.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it was like we work so hard. It's like, where's the time to enjoy? And I'm most happy when I'm having dinner with her,
That's true, too.
That's the time to enjoy the life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the time.
Be present.
Especially, I mean, having a young family, there's nothing more beautiful than that because you're like rediscovering yourselves and your child, and every day there's a new exciting thing happening.
Yeah.
Then sometimes you look back, like now when I see my kids, they're already teenagers. I almost feel like someone stole my kids. I know I said it before, but like, who the hell is this teenager?
Yeah.
Where's my little kid?
Yeah.
I want to cuddle. I want to pick her up. Now she's a teenager. She wants to do hip hop. Like,
Yeah.
and once they get the phone, man,
Oh.
it's bad.
That's why I try every moment for myself to like just get in there
Yeah.
and enjoy it, man. Like, I understand now that like it makes a lot of sense that you want to maximize your time conversing because you and wife, you have a joint venture now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not just your business and her business. You guys are sharing lives. Like, you got to figure out what you're going to do with this baby and how you guys work it out,
Yeah.
And there's no refund policy.
No. No, it doesn't stop either.
Yeah.
There's no like, nothing is going to, this train of a baby or kids, they don't stop. You can stop working and your business will decline a little.
Yeah.
And you work harder to bring it back up. That baby, if you want to stop, it's not. You're not.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You just got to keep moving with the baby. I've learned that the hard way, man. It's like, oh, this thing is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's also the most rewarding thing
Yes.
ever because by the end of the day, no matter how much we work and no matter how much success and achievements, by the end of the day, when you come home and your kids run to you and they jump on you and they hug you,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh,
I know.
that moment is priceless. That moment is priceless.
My favorite part of the day is when I wake up and I take over the morning shift.
Yeah.
And I look at my daughter. She's only 2.5 months old, and she looks at me, and then it takes a couple seconds. Then she gives the hugest smile,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
I'm done.
Done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done already.
You
Whatever
did your
you
day
want.
before 12.
Yeah.
Before that's done.
before 9.
Before workout.
Man, it's the best.
But you know what? I wanted to ask you, back to real estate. I
Yep.
wanted to ask you, You know those guys that had this TV show called Renovation Aloha?
Yeah.
And did you see the civil
did.
beat
I
and
did.
all that crap?
I
Tell
did.
us a little bit about your opinion.
You know, I know those guys. And I don't know, how vocal this podcast is, but in my opinion, I'm going through it myself. The permitting issues in Hawaii are just, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's 2025. Come on, let's figure this shit out. Like, I own a house in Kaimuki. I mean, I still don't have permits. I bought it in 2021, 2020. Still don't have permits. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And for my house, they're calling out one thing, and then I told them, oh, it was like that, and then they call it another thing. They call it another thing, and I was just like, I don't know why, but I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or what, but it's terrible. And it's like everywhere else in the country, if you want to build something and you're building it right, it gets approved like this.
Yeah.
Why is it in Hawaii? Like, why we gotta take so long? You know, like I bought my house and I felt like I had a good deal and everything was a good deal, but I opened up the walls. The whole thing was termite rotten, and I gotta start over. I didn't know that going in, but I gotta basically rebuild the entire place. But man, and so I got a violation on my house, which is okay. I understand. I went beyond the scope of repair permit, but why does it take so long? I did things the right way. I hired licensed contractors. I fixed it up. I lived through the renovation with my wife. Why does it take so long? I still haven't finished my house. I still have 100 amps going to my house because I have a violation. You cannot upgrade to 200 amps. So one side of my house is still unfinished, and that's where all the termites are. So they're probably eating through all my brand new stuff that I created. But because I can't take the violation off, and every time I'm like, why can't I take this violation off? So I can't even upgrade because HECA won't let me because I have a violation on. And it's just, I mean, it's my kind of, I'm not a home flipper. This is my first time kind of going through it, and I'm learning. I'm like, wow, like for me, I'm lucky enough to survive, but I'm just imagining other people trying to go through this and they don't have that. If they're trying to flip a house or they can't move in until it's finished, how do they survive? It's crazy.
That is bananas. I really don't know. From what I've heard and trying to understand this thing, they say it's the system's outdated or whatever, but there's still no reason, right, that you can't just like, okay, yes, go fix it. It don't make no sense.
Well, my main concern was, one of the ways to make money off of real estate is flipping houses.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons why it's hard to do it in Hawaii is because you cannot get permitted.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about flipping in anywhere else in the United States, if let's say you buy for 100, okay, and you renovate for 50,000, okay, you can technically resell it for 200, let's say, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But in Hawaii, you cannot, because to make that 50,000 renovation will take you 8 to 15 months if you're lucky.
Way more than that for permits.
So with that time, now you're paying the $4,000 mortgage every month until you get the permit. You still have to pay because you bought it, right? So you pay the property tax, you pay your mortgage, insurance, everything, but you cannot live there because you still got to renovate it. So you still got to rent somewhere, right? If you're just a flipper, okay, it reduces your profit margin because now you have to pay mortgage and all those other expenses until you can actually go into the renovation. So they basically took away our opportunity to do a flip,
For themselves.
a good one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when that show happened, Renovation Aloha, and they went on HGTV, those guys, HGTV, followed them around, right? They're with them all the time throughout the renovation. So they saw they're not even pulling permits. So, of course, if they don't pull permits, they can resell it within 3-4 months and make that 80 to 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
But then Civil Beat came in and said, wait. How did you get it in 3 months? How did you get it in 4 months? This is possible. Civil Beat started to go into deep in this and then realized that they didn't have any permits
Mm-hmm.
for stuff that they did. So I don't know what about the TV show, if they're going to continue to do the TV show. I don't know what is.
Yes, I think that's a brilliant move. I think if that doesn't get if we obviously can't do it from here. We've been trying for so long. This permitting problem has been a problem for what? As long as you have been in a business, right? But now it's on a world scale. Maybe other people can look from the outside in and put pressure and be like, yeah, what is wrong with your guys' system? Why are they in trouble for not, you know what I mean? Like, they brought a whole lot more eyes into our little real estate game here.
I think, again, this is just me, and I have nothing against civil beat, but shut the fuck up. Let the people make money, They didn't hurt anybody. They build everything up to spec. Everything is, licensed contractors. Yeah, they don't have the permits.
Yeah.
But if the permits would do their job in a timely manner, then they would have applied.
And not only that, after the closing, they get the permits after closing. And they include it in the contract.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that was put out by Civil Beat, but like, they do real journalism though. You know what I mean? Like, those guys dig.
I love what they do.
When it came to
just in this case, I felt like bad that they threw them under the brick. Because those guys are local. It's a local couple. They're young. They're making it. They're hustling. They got a TV show. Why do you have to ruin it?
Yeah, well, at least.
Why do you have to ruin it?
Hopefully it gets to a national level.
And guess who that girl is?
Who?
Do you think she's from here?
Who? No.
She's not.
Not?
Of course not.
Well, I mean, I don't know who Civil Beat hires,
If I show you the picture, you're going to be like, her name is Karen.
Yeah, Karen T.
Karen T, bro!
Yeah. But, I don't know. Maybe they'll become martyrs for it, Like, and, because, again, that is a big issue. Like, I can't move into, to even start off thinking about moving into my in-laws' house, like, we have to make it bigger. To make it bigger, we can't do that for at least, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like, why?
Why?
And then, even some of the rules are, like, how the upstairs has to be smaller, like, has to be half the size of your home.
Yeah.
And it's just like, then where do we go? You know what I mean? Like, because there's no way we're going to be able to buy a home anytime soon.
No.
And so we can't even take that route.
Yeah.
And you're working like 3 jobs right now.
Bro, yes. I make decent money. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, even at this rate of what I make, I can't imagine, like, people who just have one job or who are just, like, not working as hard. They're just going to rent forever.
Cannot.
Or even, and you can see why a lot of people have to split, and that's the shitty thing. Like,
yeah. I feel like the only good deals that I saw in Hawaii is to take over. It's it's an assumable loan. It's a VA assumable loan, which you basically assume someone else's loan of a 2.5, 2.8 loan. Mm-hmm. This is the only deal that you can get over here that actually makes sense for a first-time home buyer, in my opinion, because then you get their rate, so your monthly is low.
But
so you can actually.
So those are not stackable. So whatever the remaining balance is, you cannot do a conventional with a assumable VA.
Yeah, no.
Number one,
you do it.
So whatever the balance is, the rest you have to make up in cash.
Yeah, you pay cash.
And then
to the
not
guy.
only that, the seller doesn't get their VA eligibility back until that's paid off.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah. But sometimes, like right now on the market, there's a couple.
There's a couple that make sense, but I've gone through a bunch and haven't had one that made sense yet.
There was one on Walina, and I hooked up one of my employees. He got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He ended up paying $71,000.
But how about the
cash?
But how about the seller? He doesn't care about his VA eligibility.
No.
Why he don't want to buy nothing else?
He had 2 units in the same building. He wanted to get rid of one of them. My employee is stoked because for $71,000 he got a 1-bedroom in Waikiki and he pays $1,500 a month.
Nice.
So now he's like fucking. He's
for you. Good
but
for you.
There's not a lot of deals like that. Like everything you have to. I feel like they make it harder on you to make money.
Yeah.
And then there's the big developers where they make it easy on them. Well, okay. Oh, you want this whole area? Oh yeah. Develop. Do whatever. Oh, you want houses? Done. Resident? Done. You want to do business? Done. But then the small developers, they're having the real hard time to actually make something. And that I feel like in Hawaii, it's a little bit. They should help the small guy you know, and let the big corporation that anyways has the money, let them pay. For them, it doesn't matter another million, another 10 million, another 100 million. They're a big corporation. They don't fucking care. They have to write it out. They have to write anyways. But for us, it matters. Every $5 matters.
Yeah.
So I feel like there need to be somehow a shift in whether it's the permitting process, whether it's you know, just making sure that people can actually afford to buy in Hawaii. You know, because this current situation doesn't look like it's going to get better. It actually looks like it's going to get even more unreachable, more expensive, more.
Why not give an advantage to local residents to buy too? I don't
100%.
understand. Just some kind of advantage. Anything.
Yeah.
Everything is the same.
What do you think about the bill that they proposed, Brenton Ava and them, in regards to not having not selling agricultural land to outside investors?
Ag land is, I know the rules have been twisted and turned, and there's people who they build pools, but they're called equestrian baths. So because the steps are going down into the pool, it's a horse bath, not a swimming pool. Right, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And then they build a mansion, but they say it's a fucking.
I mean, yeah. I mean, why not? Like, I don't know. Ag land. There's so many loopholes.
I just don't want to have outside investors buy the ag land. Loopholes on ag land, great. Let the Hawaiian people, the local people buy it.
A little bit more, bit more
but it's
advantage for local residents. If you have a Hawaii driver's license, then whatever. You pay taxes in Hawaii?
Yes.
Come on.
So what would you recommend?
I don't know.
If
That's a political question.
But if you could make an adjustment, if you could make one thing that make it easier for local people to buy, what would it be?
I don't know. That's a political question. I mean, I will say we have some of the lowest property tax rates in the country, which is nice for local homeowners. The minute it's not your primary residence, it goes from 0.4 to 1.4. You know, it goes up by like 3 times for when it goes over $1 million. So I think that's one way to capture some of it back. Property taxes, probably. Maybe you can raise that a little bit, but I think I don't know. I don't know how to make the
I just wish we there was a way where we could like have an idea or come up with a strategy where we could actually make it easier on people.
We have what's called HARPTA FERPTA.
Yeah.
If you're not a Hawaii resident, is a withholding.
Yeah.
And if you're not a U.S. citizen, there's a withholding.
Yeah.
But it's not a extra tax, so I don't know. Maybe it's just an extra tax plus a withholding or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's political. That's beyond my scope. So I'm gonna stay out of that.
As an investor and as someone that lives in Hawaii, you know, on one hand, I want to get the prices down so people like myself and my family and my friends and neighbors can buy more and stay in Hawaii. And at the same time, you don't want the property to lose their worth. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know, but in the grand scheme of things, if we would limit outside investment in Hawaii, there would be immediate effect on the real estate price.
Yeah.
So I don't say go nuts, don't let them buy anywhere, but there has to be some limitations, in my opinion, whether it's ag land or designated areas, you know, like buy only in Waikiki, Kaka'ako, you know, have designated areas where outside investors can buy.
Yeah.
But don't let them buy in
communities, like large communities that are growing, you know, like
that doesn't make any sense, you know, especially if they're not part of the community. When they just buy it and they rent it, then it becomes an investment. And they're not involved, they're not part of the community.
I mean, there's homes like in Evo Beach that are like B&Bs, like ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, that could be a community member.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is also another crazy thing, you know, like, what do you think about the Airbnb thing that they don't let us do Airbnb in Hawaii?
I understand. Obviously, it's the hotel lobbyists, and they're gonna, you know, Airbnb guys are making a lot of money.
But it did change for you guys, the real estate agents. It changed a lot, no? Because before there was a frenzy. Everybody wanted to buy here.
Yeah, because you could do whatever. You could buy a house, you can Airbnb it, whatever. So now it's residential zone for now is 30-day minimum. There's a bill on the table. It used to be 180 days.
Yeah.
Which I thought was way too like you kind of go from only a hotel night stay to 180 days and nothing in between.
That makes sense.
So they changed it to 90 days. And it kind of passed, but then it got shut down. So now we're in this limbo. We don't know if it's 30 days or 90 days. As of now, it's 30 days. It's tough. It's a tough balance because the hotel guys, they want to make money. And so they want to push it out as long as possible. But also, too, that also helps local people find long-term rentals.
Yeah.
When you only make it 30 days, it's kind of in the middle. So it's like, the hotels don't have as much power, but also it doesn't help the local people find long-term rentals because these guys are just renting to mainlanders or whoever just want to 30 days at a time.
Yeah.
So it's a tough balance over there. There's no set rules.
Like in Hawaii a lot of times they approve something like, okay, everybody's doing Airbnb, let's do Airbnb. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, okay, you guys don't like it? You guys don't like it? You guys don't like it? Okay, what do you don't like? Okay, take it off.
Yeah.
Take it off. Take it off. This is what we have left from Airbnb. One side, the right side of Kuhio Avenue, only some of the buildings. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
From Kuhio right side up to Makai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Something that was zoned back in like the 70s or something. Hotel zone versus apartment zone.
Yeah. But even within that, still the association has to approve daily rentals. Yeah. So even if your building is zoned resort, which means you can do hotel or Airbnb, you still have to have the AOAO, the actual association, approve that.
But if you've been doing hotel illegally for at least 30 years, then you're grandfathered in.
Yeah.
It's like,
what?
It's like, oh, you're okay.
Oh, you're a condotel.
Yeah.
You've been doing it illegally for 30 years.
Okay, you're okay. We're just doing this law now, so it's okay.
Yeah. Like, what's this building on Kuhio? Not Bamboo, the other one. Banyan.
Yeah.
Condotel?
It's on the left side, so it's not supposed to have.
Wow.
It's not supposed to be resort zoning. However, because it was grandfathered in, somehow someone was able to pitch to the state that people bought the units in this building because of the rental. So now if you take that off, it means we overpaid by 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those units are 1-bedroom units that they sell for $600,000. Now if you take it away and I cannot do rentals, now it's only worth $300,000. So they, after back and forth, they just, okay, well, Banyan can do it. It's weird. In Hawaii, it's weird.
We're just super weird. Like, we're really weird.
But back in the day, I really felt like this is a good opportunity for local people to make money because a lot of local people that had a house, they were able to build a little unit and then rent that out. Yeah. And suddenly, they make another $1,500 to $2,200 every month, and it's a game changer for local families to have another $1,500 to $2,200. Game changer.
Yeah.
Without working, without doing nothing.
Yeah.
So for them, it was huge. I felt like it was a huge help. Like I felt like Airbnb that came in was like, oh, okay. Like when Uber came in, when what's the car service? Turo. When I feel like those apps helped local people establish themselves in Hawaii and be proud to live here and able to make a living.
Turo was a big one for local people.
Big one.
Yeah, I know a guy who came up, bro. He's like 7 Teslas deep right now.
Dang.
Yeah.
And that was during COVID.
Yeah. A lot of people did a lot of good. Look, by the end of the day, people in Hawaii, we want to live here, we want to stay here, and we want to hustle.
We want to thrive.
We want to thrive.
What we want to do. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like right now, we're barely surviving, but we want to thrive.
Yes.
You know, and we need opportunities and abilities to thrive. You know?
Yeah. And I think if we want to give a small percentage to a mainland app that figured out how to do the accounting and everything and the marketing and everything, if we don't get a small percentage, it's okay. as long as we get the bulk of it, you know. And I think with
100%.
Airbnb and with Turo, we get to keep the bulk of those profits.
Yes.
They created a platform where it trades on and everything. It's like, yeah, give them their the small percentage. It's not that much.
Well, also, who cares? People have to stop look of what other people making. Look of what you're making.
Yeah.
Well, who cares what they're making? Can you pay your bills? Can
Yeah.
you go, take your wife to a restaurant?
Yeah.
Great, you're doing great.
Yeah.
That's all. As long as you don't have to have a third job or a second job or, at some cases, fourth job, you're good. You
Yeah.
know, and those kind of opportunities gave us that angle to be good without having another fucking full-time job.
Yeah.
You know, have another income stream. But making it so hard, I feel like no matter what kind of toy we've been given, our government says, nah, you're not allowed to play.
Yeah.
Even with the crypto, we just got crypto, what? Like last year they allow us to do crypto? But up until then, during the whole COVID, you couldn't fly, so you couldn't open the app, the Coinbase app somewhere else to have a different, address. And then over here, you cannot have Coinbase app up until like 6 months ago, whatever, a year ago. So even crypto you couldn't do over here.
Yeah.
Always
Something, huh?
Always something. Always something.
I'm interested real quick. So you got a bunch of awards aside from having like the greatest hair award.
Right,
For sure, bro. Tell us a little bit about these client service awards.
Yeah.
What is that from?
Okay. Well, first off, gotta talk about the hair. I have a haircut appointment next week. My hair was long, so actually, this was cut by my wife about an hour before we got
Really?
here. I was like,
Yo!
I was like, babe, my haircut appointment is not till next week. I got a little trim. That's why you can see a couple notches over here.
What was impressive was that
I was
you had the one
Yeah.
bang that would just fall perfectly.
Oh,
And I was
shoot,
like, bro, his one bang
Oh.
keeps falling in the right spot. I was like,
Bruh.
somebody architected.
I was in the shower. I was like, babe, I gotta get a little trim. I'm gonna be on camera and stuff. Like, can you trim me up real quick? So she trimmed me real quick, got in the shower, and I came over here. But
She did good.
yeah,
Yes.
She
Yeah.
did good.
But the awards, so client service award came from basically my clients nominate me for this award. So if I do a good job, I send them this link and they write up a little summary. So that one means a lot because it's not about the dollar sales or anything like that. It means like you did a good job. And yeah, so certain clients of mine, they'll always leave reviews.
It's
and,
like your Yelp reviews, and
Yeah.
your Yelp page, all the 5
Yeah.
star.
exactly. So
Nice.
yeah, it means a lot. Last year sold over 42 mil. And it's been fun. It's been a blessing.
But
Yeah.
it did change right now. I mean, in 2024, they released this new thing where the real estate agent is not getting paid directly.
Yeah, so that whole thing is really weird. It's the NAR lawsuit, and
Why did they do that?
in my opinion, not a lot has changed. I understand. So there were some real estate companies that were basically telling their clients, when you sell with us, it's a fixed percentage, and you cannot fix a percentage. It's like having a monopoly. It's price fixing. So everything in real estate is negotiable. But the thing is, there's been discount brokers always.
Yeah.
You see the guys on the news. I'll sell your house for $5,000
Yeah.
flat fee.
Yeah.
$5,000 flat fee. What they're not telling you is, number one, they're not talking about the buyer agent commission that you'd be offering. So if you don't offer a buyer agent commission, it's going to be hard to get agents are human. And if you're not going to offer them a commission, they're going to have a hard time bringing
Yeah.
in buyers for you.
For
So
sure.
so there's new projects. Sometimes they give us agents 3%, sometimes 2.5%, sometimes 2%, sometimes 1%. But let me tell you, the ones that only offer 1% have a harder time bringing agents in who have buyers. And the ones who offer 3%, they don't even do any marketing. All the agents are the ones bringing all the buyers in for them. It's the human nature of the business. So the whole lawsuit was about price fixing and everything. So the only difference right now, which I can kind of see, is we're not able to publicly announce what the buyer agent commission is. So the only difference is when you want to set up a showing, for your buyer. You say, hey, can I show this property at such and such date? And by the way, what is the seller paying buyer agent commission? And if so, what is it? That's the only difference. But as far as the dollar amount, in my opinion, it hasn't changed. It's been the same pretty much.
So let's say, just for our audience to understand. So back in the day, if you would get a listing of a unit that is 500,000, it would been offered 6%, 3 to the seller, 3 to the buyer.
It would be posted on the MLS. You would see it already.
Yeah.
So the agent would see it.
Yeah.
But the buyers wouldn't see it. The public wouldn't see it, but the agent would see it.
Yeah.
By the way, we're offering such and such amount.
But right now, basically,
Right now, no.
there's
nothing.
no
There's no. It's no.
there's no obligation to
There's
pay.
no obligation.
Yeah. So now when I want to buy something, I need to tell my agent that whatever we will do, I will be the one paying for her.
Well, so for the most part, all the sellers have still agreed to paying their seller's agent and also a buyer's agent who brings them a buyer. I haven't seen much shift one way or the other.
Really?
Yeah, and there's always been for sale by owners. There's been people trying to sell their property on their own who are not even going to pay their own agent.
Yeah.
But good luck. I mean, it's been more difficult for them.
For sure. For sure. I just didn't understand why did they do that, and if it's benefiting, who is it benefiting?
I think it's probably benefiting experienced agents like myself. You know, that's it puts a premium on listings, but also, you know, experienced agents know how to kind of combat this thing, and we know our worth. I know that I can probably negotiate a property down more than 3% from any buyer. Any buyers trying to go direct, they think, oh, I'm gonna get a good deal from a seller's agent. But what they don't realize is that seller's agent, in order to get the listing, they have a pre-existing relationship with that seller. Otherwise, they wouldn't have got that listing. So you think, honestly, that agent is going to get you a good deal? They're going to say this, I'm getting you a good deal. Oh, I got 6 offers, but you know what? Yours was the lowest, but you know what? I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah. You think that's actually happening? No.
Never.
They're trying. It's impossible to stay neutral, and you know what? They're actually not fighting for you. They're fighting for the seller. Cause that's their homie, that's their friend.
Of course.
So the seller is the one getting a deal. They're telling you, hey, you're getting a deal. Don't worry about it. But you know what? Yeah, the seller's getting a deal. But if I come in and I only represent you, the buyer, I'm gonna get you way less than 3% than that guy can get you.
For sure. Because you will fight for me because you're getting paid.
Yeah. I get so many guys nowadays like, oh yeah, I heard about the whole NAR lawsuit. I only work with listing agents, and I have a lot of listings, so they come straight to me. It's like, oh yeah, I only go straight to the listing agent. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Like what do you got? You know?
But that means that you still make 6 though, no? Or you make 3 if you represent both.
If it's my client from before, so for me, for my listings, if that's my client, yes, I make 6. But if that's not my client, I don't charge my sellers that. I don't say, I'm not gonna double in unless I know them from before.
Yeah. No, but let's say you represent someone, you have 3%, but then comes someone and says, hey, I don't want to bring my own. I'm just going to work through you, right? Because you own the listing.
Yeah, sure. But you're not going to get a better deal because my
obligation,
loyalty is to the seller.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, this new rule, created so much.
I haven't even gotten into buying a house yet, so I'm just enjoying the conversation. Like, okay, I see here. What I mean, like at this rate, like on average, what would someone's yearly have to be in order to be a homeowner in Hawaii?
Oh, that's a financing question, but honestly, like to me, it's like sometimes you gotta take one step back to move 2 steps forward in life.
Yeah. And
so my first property I bought when I was a realtor, it was $230,000 in Makiki. And it was
what year was this?
This was 2016.
Oh.
And it was a 1-bedroom, but it's a 2-story walk up. So I had my bedroom and my bathroom downstairs, and then I had my kitchen and living room upstairs. So it felt like a house. It was like I saw it and I was like, man, this is cool. It was $230,000. But like, you know, I went from living with my dad in Diamond Head with a swimming pool and a jacuzzi and a whole backyard to renting on my own. And then I realized, you know what? I'm in real estate. I gotta practice what I preach. I got like I'm convincing all these people to buy, but I don't own anything myself. So in 2016, I was like, you know what? I gotta buy something for myself, and I bought this $230,000 condo, and it was the most scariest move because I was renting right across the street from my office for like $1,900 a month, and I split it with my roommate at the time. So we split it $950, but then he couldn't afford the rent, so I covered him for like 3 months, and then finally I was like, dude, you're not covering the rent, like you gotta go. So I basically rented the whole place out. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, like part of a section of a house, and my landlord was like, hey, you know what, instead of 19, just pay 16. I was like, okay, fine. Paid 16. And then but that house I bought in Makiki, which was way far away from my office, I did the math, like my monthly payment with maintenance fee, everything was $1,400. So I was like, oh, I'll save like $200 a month to own this. But I'm like, but why am I doing this? Like I live across the street from my office. Now I'm gonna move all the way to Makiki. But I told myself, you know what? This is gonna pay off in the long run. Like I don't know why, but I know it's gonna pay off because like, you know, I just want to own my own thing. Mm-hmm. So I made that sacrifice, and so I used to drive to work. But then after I started living there, I was like, oh my God, I own this. I can do whatever I want. I love it, and to this day, it's one of my better income producing properties. It's my rental. I still own it, and I rent it out. I rent it out for like $3,000 a month.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And it's probably worth now maybe $500,000, no?
No, it's not worth that much, but it's
Close.
it's probably worth
450?
It's probably worth 350, 400, but yeah, so I paid off my mortgage, which I shouldn't have done. I had a 3% mortgage, and at that time I was like, you know what, this is my higher mortgage, so I paid it off. I shouldn't have. So I own it free and clear, but yeah, it's one of my better income producing properties.
Wow.
Easy.
But it's just like I think in Hawaii, it's like it's all mindsets, mentality. It's like people will watch the news, read the headlines, and they'll say, you know, whatever, price out of paradise is impossible. You cannot. But if you put your mind to it and you go 2 steps backwards, or you go 1 step backwards to move 2 steps forward, it can happen. It's easy. Like you just gotta, you know, your first house is not gonna be your dream house, especially in Hawaii. It's not gonna be the white picket fence. It's not gonna be the single family home. But you know, when you're renting, you're just basically throwing all that money out the window. You're giving it to your landlord. But if you just take a step back and be like, you know what, this is not my dream house, but I own it, and it's gonna be something one day, and you just take that leap of faith and you make it happen, you're gonna thank yourself in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave this advice to a lot of people.
Yeah. It's all mindset.
And
it's all
everybody
mindset.
that did that were super happy.
Yeah. It's all mindset. Like, it's funny, like, once in a while I'll post something on Instagram, and then, you know, I get all the hater comments or whatever. And then, you know, I was talking to my wife about it. Actually, the hater comments is actually what improves the algorithm to make it come up even more. So I don't respond to it. You know, I don't try to get into that or whatever. But it's like when I listen to those comments, it's like it's all people with the wrong mindset. It's like I'm born and raised in Hawaii, and I made it without. Okay, obviously I had some family help, but not a lot.
But it also it's not you are not an example to determine what you can or cannot do.
Yeah.
If they want to take you as an example, they need to take you as an example of your achievements and how you made yourself achieve those things. Forget about your parents. The fact that you wake up, that you do your routines, that you believe in yourself, if they would do the same exact thing within a certain amount of time, they would have their own real estate as well.
Yeah.
It's I do agree with you that by the end of the day, it's all about knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And if you're going to understand what you're doing, and you're going to understand real estate and learn real estate, not as a broker, but understand property tax, zoning, what can be done, permitting, you can make it in Hawaii.
I think it's even one step backwards from that. Is you got to work on yourself. You got to get in the right mindset. I think people, the first thing is, oh, the system is crooked. No one can make it in Hawaii. You know, the politicians are out to get us. you can have that mindset. Or you can be like, you know what? I deserve this. I can achieve this. I deserve to be a homeowner. And when you shift your mindset, you get into the place where you can make that happen.
Yeah. I think more people need to understand that there is a light in the end of the tunnel, that it can be done. You just need to be
take ownership. Stop blaming. Like I worked a lot on myself when I left my family business. I was in my lowest point of my life. I used to cry myself to sleep, and I had to build myself up, and I used to look for ways how am I going to build myself back up. And I did PSI seminars, and I read Think and Grow Rich. I read all these books, and then I realized, like, it's all about mindset, manifestation. We have our iPhones, and whenever there's a software update, we just click the button, we update the software. But how often do we update our own software?
totally.
How often do we invest in ourselves? We invest in so many different things, but our brain is like a computer. It's like, how are you gonna invest in your brain to improve and focus on deserving the next level?
Wow, that's so smart. Yeah, we are like we should update ourselves as well, because every few months there's an update and we do it.
You gotta take an audit.
Yeah.
I always kind of look at myself like from a bird's eye view, like, okay, maybe I did good this month, but how much attention did I pay to my wife? How much time did did we travel? Did we actually get to enjoy life? It's about realizing what's important.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a few very important things. Like you saying audit yourself is one of the most important things that you said today, in my opinion, because auditing yourself is keeping it real.
Yep.
And keeping it real is what is really hard in our life right now. People keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
But if you audit yourself and you put the numbers out there and you question yourself, the hard questions, keep yourself real. You stay true.
Yeah.
And if you don't stay true, if you're not transparent with yourself, this is when it goes south. I'm telling you, the journal app, it's a free app at the App Store. Download it right now. And it's interesting because it's the best audit, because it always says, what are the 3 things you want to accomplish today? And I always write down work stuff, this. But when you do the night journal, it says, what are 3 things that you wish you did? And it's always spend more time with my wife, hang out with my kid, stuff like that. And then it's the night stuff that kind of puts things into perspective. It's like it said, like, what were the 3 most the best things that happened today? And I was like, well, I got to exercise, I got to have dinner with my wife, and wow, okay, those are the things that are most important. Not closing this deal. Yeah.
It's about the things you get to have.
Yeah.
With that. That app is powerful.
Well, you heard it here first.
I have no affiliation with the journal app.
Come to find out, he's the biggest investor.
I wish.
98% of the app fucking startup company lives in Palo Alto.
I wish.
Well, we know that your schedule is a tight schedule. You mentioned before that you have a newborn and that you have to play daddy and go back home.
It's Ohana time right now, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for...
It is Ohana time. We have plenty more. I have Bill 7 and housing the houseless and DPP, and I have all sorts
Text
of...
it to him.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing we're out before all that stuff comes out. It's a good thing I'm bouncing. God, thank you.
But we have a little award for you.
Oh man.
Our famous the Aloha Hour Hama Award.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
Woo, look at that. Yeah, you can show that to your contractor.
Yeah.
You're like, bro.
I'm the least handy guy, if I need a picture hang up on the wall, I call a handyman.
I guarantee.
I can tell because you're holding the hammer like that.
I don't know how this works.
He's like, God.
He holds it like a gun. He's like a shoot.
How do you use this thing? How do you use this thing?
But bro, hey, Hey, you're awesome, bro.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank
for
you
your
so
time.
much for coming in, and thank you for your time. I know your time is money. We
Yeah.
can't pay you the 6%, but
No. Yeah. I'll take 3.
oh,
Hey,
there you go.
Just kidding.
But thank you for blessing us with your presence tonight.
appreciate
And
it.
your mana'o especially.
yeah.
Thank you for
I
sharing all
appreciate
that
it.
with us, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys.
I hope that any one of you at home learned something today, and maybe you're gonna become your, an owner yourself. If you're looking for a good real estate agent, you know where to find him. Ben Fieman. He's Compass.
Compass. Yeah. Founding agent.
Founding agent at Compass.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro.
One of the OGs.
Oh.
So if you
I
need
didn't
an
even know that.
OG, you know where to find him.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.